Good evening. One of India's most strategic bases at the mouth of the Malacca Straits at Andaman and Nicobar Islands is in the eye of a massive political storm between the Congress and the BJP. Congress party's Sonia Gandhi, former UPA chairperson and Congress MP, Rajya Sabha, has called it an ecological disaster and a planned misadventure. Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav has hit right back, calling this project of strategic and national importance that balances both growth and ecology. This base offers a very strategic vantage point for monitoring and controlling maritime traffic that passes through one of the world's busiest waterways. It's a strategic asset according to the armed forces. We get you more in this report.
A political storm over Nicobar. Sonia slams environmental threat. The charge of tribal rights being trampled. Centre pitches naval and trade edge. Environment Minister promises no threat to tribals or species. A political war over a strategic asset. Nicobar, strategic asset or environmental error? That's the top focus on India First.
So in Sonia Gandhi's assessment, this 72,000 crore rupee project is totally misplaced and poses an existential danger to the island's indigenous tribal communities. It threatens one of the world's most unique flora and fauna ecosystem. According to her, it's highly susceptible to natural disasters. Bhupendra Yadav, the Union Environment Minister, on the other hand, he's responded saying the project is of strategic importance. It has defense and national security ramifications. It's designed to transform the Great Nicobar into a major hub of not just maritime but also air connectivity in the entire Indian Ocean region. The project, he insists, poses no threat to either the island's tribal groups, nor does it come in the way of any species, flora or fauna, and it does not jeopardize the eco-sensitivity of this region. So I have three experts from the armed forces who join me to explain the strategic significance of the base, especially with the Dragon trying to increase its footprints in the Indian Ocean region. We get you all sides of the story. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started with the headlines on India First. New regime in Nepal, former Chief Justice Sushila Karki to take oath at the presidential palace. State of emergency to be imposed tonight. Kulman Gising being considered for a ministerial post. BJP comes out all guns blazing against the Congress, says the Congress has been sworn to insult the Prime Minister's mother. Congress's bizarre justification says an AI video of a mother is only educating her son. The Prime Minister is to visit Manipur tomorrow for the first time since the ethnic violence broke out in the northeastern state. The Prime Minister to lay the foundation stone for projects worth 8,500 crore rupees. He will also meet the internally displaced people. A full emergency declared at Mumbai airport after SpiceJet's flight to Mumbai. A wheel falls off after takeoff. The plane made an emergency landing at the Mumbai airport. All passengers are fortunately safe. Charlie Kirk's shooter Tyler Robinson arrested. He's confessed to his father about killing Charlie, who then contacted the sheriff's department, Trump, to attend Charlie Kirk's funeral. The Congress and the BJP are at daggers drawn over the ambitious 72,000 crore rupee Great Nicobar Island project that's seen as a game changer for India in the region. The Congress has called the project a planned misadventure and an ecological disaster that tramples on tribal rights. The BJP has not only countered it, saying that the ambitious project comprises an international container transshipment terminal, a greenfield international airport, gas and solar-based power plant township, and a project of strategic defense and national importance designed to transform the Great Nicobar into a major hub of maritime and air activity in the Indian Ocean region that will give India a massive strategic advantage.
New Delhi is betting big on the Great Nicobar Project. Barely 9 kilometers from India's southern tip, about 210 kilometers from Indonesia's Aceh province, and roughly 900 kilometers from the Malacca Strait, the 72,000 crore rupees project is seeking to harness the commercial transshipment potential on its southeastern fringe, leveraging key shipping lanes while countering China's string of pearls in the Indian Ocean region. Spread across 166 square kilometers, almost 10% of the island, this mega 30-year plan promises a transshipment port, a new international airport, power plants, and even a township for 65,000 residents. The Narendra Modi government insists due process has been followed, arguing this project will transform India into a regional trade hub, cut dependence on foreign ports, create jobs, and strengthen naval capabilities. But the opposition is in no mood to buy the narrative. Sonia Gandhi has launched a full broadside. Calling it a grave misadventure, the Congress leader has accused the government of trampling tribal rights and violating laws.
Great Nicobar Mega Infra Project is a mega environmental and humanitarian disaster. The chairman says on the 21st of July 2023 that this House is entitled to discuss everything under the planet with one restriction. That restriction relates to Article 121 of the Constitution.
Union Environment Minister Bhupender Yadav counters, insisting the project is of strategic and national importance. He also said clearly that no tribal group will be displaced and clearances came only after multi-level scrutiny. With the battle lines hardening, Nicobar finds itself caught in a high tide of politics, policy and people. Bureau Report, India Today.
So an ecological disaster, a planned misadventure, or a great project of strategic importance that will give India a geostrategic advantage. So the battle lines are very clearly drawn. The BJP has drawn blood with Party National General Secretary B.L. Santosh saying forces inimical to Bharat's growth are opposing this project. Why is the Congress lending its voice to them? Joining me on India First is General Raj Shukla, former army commander and commentator on strategic military affairs. Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor is former Director General of Inspection and Flight Safety. Incidentally, he landed the first fixed-wing at the Campbell Bay base. Captain D.K. Sharma is the former spokesperson of Indian Navy, consultant at Bharat Shakti. For the political perspective, I have Dr. Shama Muhammad representing the Congress Party and Dr. Ajay Alok representing the BJP. Dr. Shama Muhammad, the BJP insists the project is of great strategic importance. The BJP says the Great Nicobar Islands are located less than 150 miles from Indonesia, situated near the western entrance to the Malacca Straits. It's a very vital maritime trade route. That it's the most delicate choke point. It's a critical asset for Indian naval capabilities. It's very good for our power projection. B.L. Santosh asks, why is the Congress lending its voice to forces that are inimical to India's growth and want to stall such a project?
You see, these type of people called B.L. Santosh should be kicked out, first and foremost. How dare he uses such words? When there is something, we are the opposition, and the word battleground, battle has been drawn. I find it really ridiculous. This is for the development of India. We are not against the development of India. But what we are saying is it's a tribal area, it's a rainforest area. You have the Champagne tribe and you have the other tribe over there from the Nicobarese tribe. So one is it's the ancestral land of the Nicobarese tribe, right? Then the Champagne tribe, their employment, you have to move all of them. You have to, they're all stakeholders. They have to be involved. Now let's understand, you need to cut around 32 lakh to 52 lakh trees. Now the government of India says the compensatory afforestation happens in Haryana. I fail to understand what does this mean. When I cut trees in Andaman and Nicobar, why should the afforestation happen there? Then there was a National Commission for Scheduled Tribe and Tribal Council of Greater Nicobar said they were made to write a letter in duress. Then that letter from the council that has been revoked because the council noted that the authorities rushed them into signing. So what we are saying, we are never against development. If we were against, India is not what it's going to be today with the IITs and the ISRO and everything. What we are saying is, why are these stakeholders not involved? And also, you know that the CRZ zone is basically there is the coral reef there, the turtle nesting. So take care of all this because we have not taken care. We have seen what's happened in Uttarakhand, what's happening in many other states in India, even in Himachal or others. What we want is we don't want loss of life. We don't want to displace the tribals. We get them involved, use them
Okay.
as stakeholders, and then do whatever we have to do.
Fair
But
enough.
don't
Let
come
me
and be
bring in.
authoritarian. Don't be authoritarian and say, oh, this is against India. Look at B.L. Santosh is not a politician. He's an RSS man. He should sit at home and shut his door over there because he dare not use such language on the party which has run this country, which can do it better than he can ever do in his entire lifetime.
Okay. Dr. Ajay Alok, the Congress calls it a planned misadventure. The Congress says it's an ecological disaster, poses an existential danger to the indigenous tribal community, flora and fauna, and accuses leaders like B.L. Santosh using language that is aimed at, putting the Congress in a corner when they say that's not required. Congress has run this country for so many decades.
Quite right, you are. For Congress has run this country for so many decades, and in so many decades, we have seen that how POK was given to Pakistan, how Aksai Chin was given to China, how Kachativu Island was given to Sri Lanka, how many islands in northeastern were given to China. All these things we have seen that what Congress has done, and so is Mr. B.S. Santosh, or for that matter, Ajay Alok, or for that matter, any nationalist says that why Congress is lending its voice to the anti-national forces or those forces who are inimical to the India's growth and development. There's a reason behind it. See, there are 3 points which has to be taken into consideration. Champagne tribe and Nicobarian tribes. These 2 tribes are our indigenous tribes which are not exposed to external environment at all, not vaccinated, nothing doing, no people in flux, no meeting. So they are quite vulnerable to all kind of disease and all kind of ecological disasters they might face. So those 2 islands have not been touched. That is there in the floor, that was said in the floor of the House. But Congress failed to realize this. Now coming off the ecological disaster. This is an absolute greenfield ecosystem, eco-friendly project, which is aimed, number one, for the development of people living in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It's aimed at the strategic interest the country will have after establishing an international airport, a port,
Okay.
an international port, and a naval base, which will strengthen us in the region of Indian Ocean. Now, who is wary of this project? Who is not happy at all with this project? There are multiple countries, and China is one of them. They never wanted a naval base to be established. They never want India to have a maritime forces. They never want an international trade route coming for India. Now, why within India such a voice should arise? Why? Now they talk of seismic danger. Seismic danger. Okay, fine, seismic danger. Japan is having the highest seismic danger. So Japan should not do any trade. Japan should not do any infrastructure. The point here is that if you don't take care and concern of the people, if you don't want to make a particular area industrious, a particular area in a development mode, this is your
Okay.
problem. That's what you have done to India for the last 70 years. And that's why Mr. B.S. Santosh said that why Congress is raising hands, joining hands and joining voice with forces inimical to the development of India. He's very
Can I
correct.
just come in 1 minute, Gaurav?
Okay.
1 second.
Okay, 1 minute before I bring in the strategic affairs
My
analyst, but
question
go
is,
on.
my question is, Gaurav, as an opposition, we are trying to preserve the tribe. We are not against development, I particularly told, but when we, in this country, opposition cannot say anything. The minute we say anything, we are against the forces of this country. What is it? I want you to ask you something. Stop the match, India-Pakistan match. Operation Sindoor Jari Rahega. That is what the Prime Minister of my country said. Why are we playing a match with? You spoke about us. Oh, you have done this. You have done that. Our people have died. Pakistan has attacked us. It was a terrorist attack. How dare
Ma'am,
you
that
do
debate
Pakistan?
is coming
Stop
up at
that.
8:30
Stop the
tonight.
match. And you accuse us.
That debate is coming up at 8:30 on that India-Pakistan match. That's coming up
No, no,
shortly.
he
But
was
General
talking
Shukla,
about us. No, I want to tell him to stop it.
General
He's accusing
Shukla,
us.
I want to stay on the
Us.
strategic aspect for a moment. Dr. Mohammed, hold on. General Shukla, your assessment of the Great Nicobar Island project from the strategic point of view and the environment assessment. You've heard both the government or you've heard both the political parties, the ruling party and the opposition party, sir. General Shukla.
So Gaurav, just let me say that the environmental concern. Yeah. So Gaurav, let me just say this, that the environmental concerns are entirely valid, but it is time to complement our, continental gaze with some maritime prowess. We are getting late in this whole game, and just let me now lay out the arguments or the strategic imperatives, which in my view are equally compelling. Our competitor is China. It has a 400 ship navy. Those ships are not going to patrol the Chinese coastline. Its shipbuilding is 200 times that of USA. 200 times. There is a book which has come out this week called Breakneck by Deng Wong. It says China, because they are a country of engineers, are rolling out civil military infrastructure at breakneck speed. And USA, being a country of lawyers, has obstructed many of their projects, and therefore they are in a sorry plight. So my point is this: the Andaman Nicobar Islands, I think I'm quoting Admiral Arun Prakash many years back, he said they are a natural aircraft carrier at sea. They allow us, a natural island to build our radars, our airfields, our infra, to project power across the Malacca. Because if you don't project power across Malacca, those threats will come to your shores. It will also enable us to strengthen the entire A2AD in the IOR. So we just have to get going, because we are up against a country which has converted atolls and reefs into military bases. We know what they've done in the South China Sea. And here we have a lovely island where we need to take these strategic imperatives forward. Let me make one last point. China practices civil military fusion. See what they do smartly. Their fishing fleets are built with military specific.
Yes. Give me a moment, we reestablish that link, but that's a very important point you're making. The dragon is like coming into these waters, into the Indian Ocean region. This is where we may control that very strategic choke point. We need that air base, is your point of view. Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, you were the first fixed-wing pilot to land a fixed-wing aircraft in the Campbell Bay in the Great Nicobar Islands. In your appreciation, given the threat posed by China, and not just in the maritime domain, how important is it for India to develop critical infrastructure from the point of view, not just of merchant shipping, but our armed forces?
See, today, if we have to launch any operations, we go for international exercises, say to Australia, Singapore, we have to do hopping. We have bases in Port Blair, but that has certain limitations because of large amount of civil flights. So to have a dual purpose runway, this airfield, by the way, was developed in 1989, and I just pulled out my logbook, and it has an entry, the first landing on 21st May 1989 at Campbell Bay. So this has come a long way. That time it was a small strip. Now they've extended it. The plan is to make it about 10,500 feet long strip, to take on heavies, to do strategic airlifting from there. And this would require just extension of the existing one. It's not creating something afresh. Now, what it implies is that we are just 45 minutes flying time to Malacca. We are just very close to Sunda and Lombok, the other two choke points, which General Shukla mentioned. And we have a naval stalwart sitting here, so he'll amplify much more. But from the air aspect point of view, the surveillance with regards to UAVs, our patrol aircrafts, the naval P-8Is, all the strategic airlift like C-17, air-to-air refuelers, AWACS need a very long runway. So this is what is envisaged. Can develop it like in Hong Kong style, wherein the transshipment comes. It will save us a huge amount of circumnavigation part to go into this part of the world, and vice versa, any shipments coming. So this is the strategic implication. Tourism, of course, but the point of maintaining the ecosystem is also valid. And I'm sure it has taken 4 years for the clearances to come, and all
Okay.
these cases must have moved to respective ministries and verticals to bring about what the clearances have just come.
Sure. Ajay Alok wants to come in, but I want to bring in Captain DK Sharma in just a moment. Captain Sharma, the Andaman Islands was seen as a aircraft carrier, a static aircraft carrier, giving India a major advantage near Malacca Straits. But explain, one, the significance of location, two, the project that is currently in the eye of a storm.
Well, Gaurav, as a general and the AVM has already brought out, but I will tell you in very, very precise terms. See, from the Indira point, the southernmost point of India, from there, if you see Sabang and Banda Aceh, these two ports,
Yes.
60 nautical miles. Actually, if you go on a height, you can see the other side. Number
Yes.
two, 96,000 ships, white bottoms, traverse this area every year, which turns to around 300 ships every 24 hours. Third point, have you seen the number of vessels which China is pushing this side under the garb of anti-piracy or research vessels which are, circling around us? They are mapping our, bottoms. They are taking temperature, full temperature kind of
Yes.
things they are maintaining so that the submarines, that is the SSNs, SSBNs, could be deployed at a later stage. Then, sir also brought out IUU, illegal, unregistered. All these things are happening under the garb of fishing, which is not fishing, as General brought out. It is
Yes.
all PLA Navy. It is the pseudo part. Number four, if you see the traffic of the world which is coming from, whether it is the Cape of Good Hope, whether it is the Persian Gulf, whether it is the Gulf of Aden, which is traversing all across Indian Ocean region and moving towards South China Sea or Western Pacific.
It goes through a very narrow
90%.
choke point. Yes, it goes through a
All
very
of
narrow
them
choke point, and we'll be
Gaurav,
dominating
let me
it.
bring it out. Let me bring it
Yes.
out. All of these converge to south of Indira Point, which is called the 6-degree channel and 10-degree channel, and then make the way through Malacca Straits, cross Singapore, and enter the South China Sea.
Yes.
See the strategic advantage of this place. Are we
Dr.
going to
Shama
lose it?
Muhammad, that's the point. Look at the
Are we going to
strategic
lose it? This
advantage
should have
of.
been done. This should have been done a decade back when this
Yes.
threat was showing its head. But today,
What should have happened more than a decade ago is finally happening. But then, is there an attempt to stall it, as the BJP alleges, Dr. Muhammad? The Naval Air Station there, INS Baz, was commissioned in 2012. Sonia Gandhi was then chairperson of UPA. Over a decade later, the BJP asked, on what basis and on whose behalf is the Congress now trying to consider this project of such vital national security importance a misadventure? That's a question that's been posed by BJP's Anil Antony.
Who is BJP's Anil Antony? Why should I respond to BJP's Anil? Is he the defense minister of this country? No. So don't bring out
His
names like
father
this.
was
Gaurav.
in the Congress government, but
I
be
don't
that
care.
as it may.
His father I respond to. If you say A.K. Antony has said it, I'll respond. But if you get here and there people and ask me questions, you're a senior rank. I have a lot of respect for you, Gaurav. Get out names. Now you've got three of the military people. I have huge respect for them. What I want to tell them is nobody, I'm the first person who will go after China. And I always say, even now I'm saying we should not have any trade, any business with Pakistan till they stop this sort of attack on us. I agree with how strategically Andaman and Nicobar Islands are placed, no denying that. But what I am saying, or what we are saying, is just take these stakeholders, Let these tribes get the stakeholders, the Shortmain and the Nicobaris tribe, get them in. See what has happened even in Odisha where this mining happened. You never take the tribal people in. You need to get these tribal people in, speak to them and give them what they want, give them their employment, give an area what they want, and let's also development on the other side. Nobody is against it. I'm the first one said, we need to teach Chinese a lesson. Even now, our finger points, let me finish. In Galwan and in Hot Spring, our finger points where we are patrolling is right now, again, the buffer zone is on our side, not on their side. So everything has changed. We have not gone back to status quo ante. I would love we go back to status quo ante of May 2020. So it is not that we are against. We want our military. And also, I want to tell the three of them here that we also need to invest in R&D. Israel has 7% of their GDP in R&D. You need R&D for all this, correct? Unless you have R&D, you're not going further with all this sort of play. We need to develop our defense on that. We need to manufacture equipments. We need to manufacture missiles.
Points taken entirely, but I want the limited point here of this opposition to the Andaman and Nicobar, the Great Nicobar, island. Ajay Alok, respond to the Congress saying that the BJP is insensitively pushing through a project, making a mockery of all legal and deliberative processes. The ancestral villages, as Dr. Shamma Mohammed pointed out, of the Nicobarese tribals, they fall in this proposed land area. Now they will be displaced. Stakeholders are not being taken into account. Dr. Ajay Alok, the limited time that I have.
The number of trees you're going to cut.
It has been, the deliberations have been going on for the last 4 years and every stakeholder is taken into confidence. Not a single one left. Now let me just, one question. What led to the Congress party, who has ruled this country for 65 years, that they never went into R&D, what she's talking right now? They never went into defense production, what she's talking right now. They never went into making of bases, not a decade, at least 30 years ago, 89, when the first aircraft landed. At that point of time, why it was not taken into consideration that we should have strategic points there? Don't give me all this crying and don't use foul languages, like he should be kicked out and why I should respond. Then why I should respond to her? She should better respond to first her leader in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, Jairam Ramesh and Rahul Gandhi, who are strategically opposed. Sonia Gandhi wrote an article on this, on Nicobar Island. On whose behest they are doing this? One question to all your viewers. If we don't develop it, which country is going to benefit it?
Okay.
Who's going to benefit if we
Jal
don't
Shukla,
develop
the
our
last 30
strategic
seconds I have on this part of the show. The government's assessment is that the port would perhaps try to rival Singapore's transshipment through this China-influenced Malacca Straits. Do you agree that the aim is to reduce reliance on foreign hubs, capture 20 to 30% of that regional cargo through rerouting? General Shukla.
You're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, so see, not only is there the national security argument, there is a shipping story too. I'm told the ICTP, the International Container Transshipment Port at Great Nicobar, 30% of cargo flows through the Malacca Strait. So this port will draw cargo flows from rival ports. It will save forex, attract FDI, and so on and so forth. So there is a national security persuasion, there is a maritime story. But see the larger point, if I can make one point. 10 years back along the LAC, I remember I was a brigadier in the MO Directorate, we had similar challenges. And there were, I think there were 150 cases where there were environmental stays. And we were told that the court will not lift these stays. And I think we hired a very good lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, it was Mr. Ram Jethmalani. And in 1 week, in one fell swoop, all 150 stays were lifted. So the courts were also very sensitive to national security concerns. So I'm saying that all three are important. From what Shamaji is saying, environment is important. National security is important. The maritime push is important. I'm sure as a nation, we can create the wisdom to converge on all three. Because if we don't move forward on this, I've told you the dangers from the strategic military competition from China. Just one data piece I'll leave you with. Last year, one Chinese company, China Shipbuilding Corporation, produced more maritime tonnage than the Americans have produced since World War II. The figures are staggering. The dangers are great. So we cannot
the dangers are
great.
So it's time for, whether it's the government or the opposition, yes, environment is important, but isn't national security and strategic concerns, shouldn't they also be taken into account. Remember what happened when you weren't building roads in near the line of actual control in Ladakh? The Chinese took advantage of that situation. Now you're building those roads in Ladakh, you're effectively able to counter them. Anyways, security forces say to counter the Chinese in the Himalayas, you need to be very strong in the Indian Ocean region. We'll continue to debate this. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast. I'm Gaurav Sawant. When blood and water cannot flow together, when terror and talks cannot happen together, can terror and sports happen together? There is nationwide anger that's reflected not just in hashtags like boycott India versus Pakistan cricket, but also from unsold tickets ahead of that India versus Pakistan Asia Cup cricket match. Pakistan is a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror that has repeatedly bled India. Be it the 1993 Mumbai serial blast that killed 257 and injured over 700, to 166 massacred during the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, to Pulwama, Pathankot, and most recently the Pahalgam terror attacks that resulted in India's Operation Sindoor. Should India and Pakistan be playing cricket at a time when Pakistan has taken absolutely no action to dismantle the India-centric military terror network in Pakistan? We debate that. But first, this report.
India versus Pakistan. Usually the cricketing clash that sells itself. But this Sunday's Asia Cup encounter in Abu Dhabi is struggling to find takers. Calls for a boycott after the Pahalgam massacre continue and even spilled into the Supreme Court, but the bench was unmoved. Justice J.K. Maheshwari bluntly remarked, "The match is on Sunday. What can we do about that? Let it be, the match should go on." But politicians are not letting go. Shiv Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi accused the government and the BCCI of failing the nation.
केंद्र सरकार गप्प का आहे? जगभरात खासदारांचे डेलिगेशन्स पाठवले, विरोधी पक्षाचे खासदार त्याच्यात होते. ऑपरेशन सिंदूर कसं झालं, ह्याच्या मागे पाकिस्तान कसं आहे, ह्याच्या मागे चायना कसं आहे, आपण जगाला सांगत गेलो. पण कदाचित दुर्दैव हे आहे की आज जी खरी भाजपा होती ती सत्तेत नाही आहे. आज जर खरी भाजपा असती सत्तेत तर आज बीसीसीआयला प्रश्न विचारला असता की तुम्ही हिम्मतच कशी करता पाखड्यांबरोबर खेळण्याची.
Even cricketing voices are split. Harbhajan Singh says no cricket should be played until relations improve. Kapil Dev and others urge restraint.
अब ये ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हुआ और उसके बाद सब लोगों ने बोला कि क्रिकेट नहीं होनी चाहिए, व्यापार नहीं होना चाहिए. और देखिए, ये हम लोग अभी लेजेंड्स खेल रहे थे, हमने तो खेला नहीं वो मैच. मुझे लगता है कि जब तक देशों के रिलेशंस ठीक ना हो जाए तो फिर क्रिकेट या व्यापार नहीं होना चाहिए. वो मेरी अपनी सोच है.
Adding to the unease, influencers and high-profile social media accounts have declared that they will not cover the match. And if you thought that was just noise, ticket sales are telling the same story, with an Emirates Cricket Board official even calling them crazy dull.
India-Pakistan tickets, just like in any other country, whether it is in England or Australia, were sold out in no time. But we haven't heard any official statements this time from the Emirates Cricket Board about the status of the India-Pakistan match tickets for this Sunday. But I can tell you for a fact that, people are interested in watching this match.
India versus Pakistan, normally a sellout. This time, seemingly a flop. Bureau Report, India Today.
So it's almost unheard of that India-Pakistan cricket seats and tickets unsold. Hashtags boycott India-Pakistan cricket. Even the cricket community is split right down the middle. Be it Harbhajan Singh or Kedar Jadhav. Indians say that Indians help Pakistani cricketers, including people like Imran Khan, build a cancer hospital, playing charity matches with Pakistan. But the same Imran Khan was quoted in Pakistan saying cricket against India is like jihad for Kashmir, or for cricketers like Imzimamul Haq, it's an opportunity to convert others to Islam, or for the Shahid Afridis who remain a stooge of the Pakistan ISI that repeatedly bleeds India. And yet, we play cricket with Pakistan. Is India's anger justified? Or is there merit in those saying sports should be above politics and keep it separate even when it comes to national security? Joining me on this India Today special broadcast, two former India cricketers, Madan Lal and Atul Vasan. Opposing the India-Pakistan cricket matches are Colonel Rohit Dev and Abhijit Iyer Mitra. And I want to begin by asking you, Madan sir, why should we play Pakistan when we say blood and water cannot flow together? When we say terror and talks cannot happen together? How can terror and cricket happen, sir?
I agree with you, terror and cricket should not happen. But the thing is, whenever this Pakistan-India match starts, the politics starts. All these people get together, start saying something. Most of the people you will see on Sunday, they will watching the game. Most of the people, And, this is a decision by the BCCI because they are hosting the this Asia Cups. Another thing is, this sort of matches generate a lot of money, which helps our cricket. And other sports also, they help the other sports also. And you talking about the Shahid Afridi and Manu Haq, they are not well educated people, And I'm not thinking about Pakistan, I'm thinking about my own country. How are we going to grow about it? How are we going to progress? Look at the Pakistan. Pakistan still is 75 years, still there, They're still crying for the food or a lot of other things. Another thing is, everything is happening. Everything is happening. It's not happening. It's via Dubai happening or via some other places. It's all happening, Pakistan still getting everything from India. But end of the day, when the cricket comes, we start the politics. And people get up and start saying, look, we should not play. And, another thing which, Gaurav, they said, Pahalgam, I also, I feel very bad about that, मेरे को भी बहुत दुख हुआ था जब ये अटैक हुआ पर हमें उसका जवाब भी वैसे ही देना चाहिए भाई अगर उन्होंने हमारे मारे तो हम उनके 200 मारे 150 मारे क्यों नहीं why not you government can take a decision कि we not playing cricket and if this sort of thing happen we should blast them
Okay, that has to be a government decision, you say, Colonel Rohit Dev. Even at the height of the Kargil war, India and Pakistan played cricket. So why are we opposed to cricket matches with Pakistan in today's day and age? You've hit them in Operation Sindoor. Now play cricket.
See, Gaurav, there is a paradigm shift from 1990s to now. India today has a stated policy. It's stated in no uncertain terms that you have nothing to deal with Pakistan so long as it fosters terrorism as its bedrock to impose punishment and punitive actions on India. Not only in India as a state in terms of the military, but also the civilians and others as well. So I think from that perspective, the times have changed. What I'm saying is that not that India should not play cricket. India should play cricket. But India to yield its geopolitical leverage will take a few more years, where it will be able to tell the world, like example, how Russians were isolated, how the South Africans were isolated. That's the kind of talk India has to talk tough in this committee of nations. We are still a way away.
Okay.
I'm not even saying that India should not host the Asia Cup. India should host the Asia Cup. And what Madan Lal ji is saying, then it becomes an embargo upon yourself to make it a success as a story. That's also a given. The government of India has to also decide that where the restrictions have to be imposed and not to be imposed. And government has made it very clear on 22nd August to impose it not impose it on multilateral events. That's a government decision. But I am looking at the different perspective. What I'm saying is, it's my individual choice. It's your individual choice. So if I have a choice to give revenue to a match which finally leads to a bullet for my soldier on the border, it's my conscious decision. I will not support it.
Okay, so if you will not watch any India-Pakistan cricket match, no revenue from Indians for this cricket match is what your emotion is. Atul bhai, sports are always a part of any country's foreign policy. Look at the entire Western Bloc that boycotted the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games, or the then Soviet bloc that boycotted the 1984 Los Angeles Games. As Colonel Dev pointed out, look at the way Russia is now being isolated after the Ukraine war. Yet we continue to play cricket. It just shows, are we weak somewhere?
Well, why is this just microcosm of cricket with this patriotism? That's my problem, because I was also of the belief that, when we start playing cricket, things will get better. But now I've realized that it'll never get better, because they thrive on this. Their narrative is anti-India, because they got nothing. They've been left behind. And to just keep this, pipe dream in the country to just say that, okay, if we beat India in cricket, then things are okay. And people have been sold this story. Because Pakistan is the only country in the world where all the countries in the world have got army. Pakistan is the only place where army has got a country, you know. True. And all these people are running the cricket. But if we don't play, and I am sure that, you know, our leaders, our Prime Minister and the whole think tank know more than us. So there's a whole ecosystem behind this decision. You could have said we don't want to play because we don't lose anything. But because it is a dominoes effect, you know, there's many livelihoods depending on it. And then the qualifying for Olympics, everything is connected. So unless you have got the power to ostracize Pakistan internationally, and we have seen the next day, the guy became a field marshal and went to USA, you know. So we see this is the kind of equations in the world, and we can't take this high ground that, okay, so let it be. But this is a necessary evil because it's like chemotherapy, you know. I mean, it's a pain point. We have to play, carry on, because it will kill the good cells also. But don't shake hands and all. Just snub them, because we have to go through this. And I think it can never come back to the old things where when we and Madiban we used to play and we were friends off the field. Those days are gone.
Those days are gone. So now Indian players and Pakistani players are not friends off the field.
No, they should not be. You know, because the other day Sonia Gandhi was shaking hands. I think he should have stopped them, because we have to play cricket with you, and there's not going to be any kind of mingling, and we just do the job, and whether you win or we win. But we will not keep that camaraderie and sportsmanship, because we are at loggerheads with you, and we don't want anything that gives you benefit. Just take away everything.
That's a very important point you make there. But Abhijit Iyer Mitra, do we lack that heft? Because when it comes to cricket, we were told we have the finances, we have the power. India runs not just, India runs the ICC, and yet we are not in a position to isolate Pakistan or, get them out. Look, South Africa was ostracized because of apartheid. Yeah. Terror is worse than apartheid. Do we lack the heft? Or do we, Abhijit, lack the will to ostracize Pakistan?
I don't think we lack either the heft or the will. India accounts for most of the revenues and most of the viewership of international cricket. I think what we actually have a bit too much is greed, and a way too much personal greed. There is also this thing of relative strength. See, in an international arena like the Olympics, say America can have Russia ostracized. We may not be able to do that in the Commonwealth Games because we're up against America and things like that. But in cricket, where you have such an extraordinary preponderance, this is nothing to do with heft. This is entirely to do with greed and the revenues that the cricketing bodies feel that they can generate from it. They don't care if that money is going into directly subsidizing the Pakistanis and freeing up funds, which can then be diverted to the army and used against you in terms of terror, bullets, what have you. Our problem then, since, Raja Jaichand, since Sirajuddaulla's time, Mir Jafar's time, to now has always been greed.
Greed is this lure of the lucre, is this money, Lalji, that we want more money, and we think because India-Pakistan matches get revenue, that is why India is playing cricket with Pakistan. Pakistan will also get money, and that money will be used for terror against India. And yet we play with Pakistan.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. That money is they're going to use for terrorist activity. I don't know. But like money, like we are also getting the money. You don't understand that the sports run by the money, because you have to. We are the best in the world at the moment. Look at when we used to go outside. That was a different story. Now everybody is looking for through India. Everybody is sitting here. They're making the money. All the English people, all the coaches, IPL coaches, they're all sitting here.
By the way, this money, what India will make is Mickey Mouse, pocket change. It's not the money. You have to realize the whole ecosystem. We can say this, don't play. You can burn it down. But when do we start again? Because things are never going to be better with them. We have realized. So if you keep on just say stop today, we don't know when we'll start again. And then 70, 80,000 people, 2 lakh people's livelihood is killed. And you will go back to your job and tomorrow. And you just don't play. And what happens to that whole ecosystem?
No, we're not saying don't.
Well done. Everybody's just saying, by not playing, we are patriotic. This is a signal going out. Am I not patriotic if I agree that we should play this match because it's multinational and get on with it? Because I am a builder. I am not a destroyer. Because I realize that if we say no and we equate patriotism with not playing with Pakistan, then you are burning families. Because I'll go back to my job tomorrow. What about the whole ecosystem?
Okay,
The thing is, the ecosystem in India does not depend on Pakistan. The Pakistani ecosystem depends on India. If India chooses to blackface Pakistan and cut it out, it is Pakistani families which will suffer. And honestly, I don't give a damn about Pakistan or their families. I do give a damn about Indian families, and they are not going to suffer because we are too much of cricket. Even the domestic market is massive. All the other countries are still going to continue playing with us. The industry will go on just fine without Pakistan. Pakistan is a bit player. This is the same reason, you know, America can go and attack Saddam Hussein when he invades Kuwait, but they dare not attack Russia when Putin invades Crimea. It is the same differential. It makes a huge difference between Russia and Kuwait. Let us not equate the two.
Okay.
In terms of international cricket, we are America. International sports, we are America. China, well, China is bigger than us, but
Yes.
say they are Russia. Pakistan
I lost
is
you. I'm confused. What do you
Pakistan
want to
is
say?
at best, it's not even Rwanda, Burundi, it's the Federated States of Micronesia, somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, do you want to quickly respond to the point that Pakistan is a non-entity? So even if we ostracize Pakistan, we are not saying don't play Asia Cup, play Asia Cup minus Pakistan.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Tomorrow, if Neeraj Chopra is throwing in Olympics, he should abstain? Because India and Pakistani diplomats are meeting in various forums worldwide. So India should not even go where Pakistani guy is there.
That is exactly what I said. You do not have that relative strength in the Olympics.
We have to go there because, you know, unless we can ostracize them, we can get them removed. Till that time, we have to suffer it. Okay? And carry on.
But that's an interesting point.
You can't equate Olympics with cricket. Like I said, it is all about relative strength. Your relative strength in the Olympics isn't high. Your relative strength in cricket is massive. And I never said this is about patriotism. The word patriotism did not come from my mouth. I am talking pure geopolitics and financially strangulating Pakistan. That is it.
Madan bhai.
See, you isolate them in a manner where you suffocate them. That's the only way you can. I don't know why the government can make a strong decision, such a big country. इतना बड़ा कंट्री है कि एक डिसीजन नहीं ले सकता.
They have taken a decision that we'll play multinational.
नहीं, multinational, yeah, that's right. But we not have any tie with Pakistan.
It is smart thing to do because there is a lot of things connected to this going forward.
But Atul,
we can't burn down the whole thing just because you know we can't cut our nose to spite our face.
That's a very interesting point that you made. So 2 points, and I want Colonel Rohit Dev and Abhijit to respond to that. Colonel Dev, to you first. It's chemotherapy. Pakistan. That terror that comes from Pakistan is like cancer, and playing cricket or any kind of engagement with Pakistan is like chemotherapy. You know, some good cells also die, but you have to do it to kill the bad cells, is what Atul bhai says.
See, in terms of perspective, I totally disagree with that notion that Pakistan needs to thrive at all. Even cricket-wise, BCCI is a $2.8 billion industry. They earned about 11 or 1200 crores as a net worth of revenue of last year. Even IPL gets about 5,500 plus in terms of money. So insofar as the money power is concerned, we actually shake up about 70 to 85% of the revenue for the ICC. In return, we get about 37%. Pakistan gets 5%, amounts to about 34 million only. So as far as the power is concerned, we are actually the cricketing bully of the world.
We're never bullies. I mean, we're the cricketing giants. I wish we would.
So India, because you know, why playing this Asia Cup, a lot of countries who are surviving on only Asia Cup for their cricket, you know, the other countries besides Pakistan,
I
India.
quite agree with you.
So they could die.
I agree with you.
Nobody is denying them their revenue.
Correct.
They're telling them if you want your revenue, keep Pakistan out. We will play all of you.
What we are saying
is,
and whatever revenue
we are talking the same
Pakistan,
language.
split it amongst other countries.
Yeah. Gaurav,
just
Gaurav,
ostracize Pakistan as long as Pakistan
we are speaking the same language.
So
he's saying the same
can't
thing.
overrule the economics, you know. See the numbers.
But who's
going to?
We are saying the same language, Atulji. What we are saying is that so long as we cannot take out Pakistan from the equation, they are there, right? What you are now also saying is that countries like Hong Kong and others who are coming like UAE, smaller countries, they need to come into the perspective. But what I'm saying is different. Just imagine two things. We go to that place, say we don't play with Pakistan, or like you were saying, snub them and play them. Both options are on the table. If you take the other option, not play and lose 3 points, and say you also lose Asia Cup, we are not getting poorer, right? That could be one notion. Second is, and this I made a statement a little while ago as well, is when the proceeds come from this tournament, and as a beacon of the cricketing world, BCCI should put each penny of the revenue earned in this as the Indian state, and also your contribution which you receive from ICC, into something very, very philanthropic. It can go to the families of Palgam. It can go anywhere else.
I think government is doing
do not take,
their own way.
Do not take money.
I agree with
because
you.
Finally, you are a private,
the government is
private
doing
entity.
their thing.
You are a private entity.
Don't
enough.
question it.
But Abhijit, there's another point I want to bring you, draw you into this conversation. Does that argument, India has made a bid for Olympic Games, and that's a big bid. You cannot boycott a country, or you cannot use sports as a political tool if you want to host the Olympic Games. Or is that a facade?
Look, this is a complete facade. It has never happened ever. Because remember, America boycotted the Moscow Olympics.
Yes.
They still get to host how many? There was the Atlanta Olympics after that.
Los Angeles,
Los
Atlanta.
Angeles and all of that,
Yes.
that happened. Moscow and the Warsaw Pact boycotted the other Olympics. There were many more Olympics. The Sochi Olympics was held. Winter Olympics was held out there. You know, these are all facetious arguments. They just put out for the sake of argumentation. They are not a serious argument at all. It never affects you in the Olympics at any rate.
Okay.
Let us also remember that there are other members in global cricket. Many of the same countries playing cricket right now that are, that we're saying are going to, it is going to be horrible. Many of them are the same countries that have imposed sanctions on Russia as well.
Yes.
So wrong argument, because if Russia was not allowed to play the Olympics, because that was International Olympic Committee. It was just America. So if ICC decides to ostracize Pakistan, I'm with you.
But
there are countries in cricket, there are countries in the Asia Cup that have imposed sanctions on Russia.
What my point is that if you have to make ICC decide that nobody will play Pakistan, can you do that?
No.
Can we do that?
You don't want everybody to not play Pakistan. Hello. You are, first of all, you are misquoting and then...
America didn't...
No. We are not saying that. We are saying very simply, we will not play and we will not play in any tournament. Tum apna ghar chala lo, but we will not play if Pakistan is playing. It is that simple. If they don't want to play, they won't get the money. That's it.
I also want to, for a moment, move forward on that one aspect. When did we last see, Atul Bhai, that when Pakistan bleeds India, yet when cricket matches were held, the stadiums were full, always full. Now, the stadiums, people are not buying tickets. People are going with this hashtag, boycott India, Pakistan cricket. Does that indicate that India is changing?
Not really, because there are 2-3 points to it. First of all, it's law of diminishing returns, because, once we keep on beating them, then the thrill is gone. And it's too expensive to go to Dubai. But there's a test called Norman Tebbit's test, because it was a member of parliament in England, that all the people living in England, when India plays England in England, how many people support England? And the test was very, very clear. So now the test is that when India plays Pakistan, what are the numbers coming for the eyeballs? That is matters more. Whoever is in the ground, that doesn't matter, because that is, microcosm of it.